Alright, as there is no disassembly video on the Steinel STK 80, I will give you some information on how to remove it, disassemble it, in my case to clean it from the grease that was pressed in there. First thing I did, but that's unnecessary, I removed the area that holds the tool usually. Then I removed the gip that's set in here, same way how all the other gips are being made. Where is there one? Here in front you can see it. It's a locking nut and a flat screwdriver that pulls out the gip. That's how the assembly looks. So if you turn this screw, the disc engages with the gip and pulls out the tapered gip here. Actually has a hole also for oil, and this here is the locking nut. I also removed the two oilers here because I want to clean them. Then as the gip is out now, the ram here can move freely, and this here is the connection pin that drives the ram up and down. And if I pull it out, the ram would drop down, so I let it rest here on the stand that I built for the vertical head to pull it in and out, and gave it some pressure from above to free the pin here from the weight. And now you can pull it out, and you see here the oil channel. That thing I pulled already once and cleaned it, so there's now the oil channel free. And with that thing pulled out, you can see in there where it used to engage with the up and down mechanism. And now I'm trying to move the ram, I guess, up very carefully and put it aside and have a look inside. So that went smooth. Interesting oil grooves here, nice shape. Also inside there is an oil groove with also holes down there. They don't seem to be clear all the way. We have to clean them. This is M19 nut. I will remove it, see how it works. Down here you see the gear that I made seems to engage properly, and there's sufficient space for the nut thing that I put on top of the gear, so no worries there. In general, nice scraping marks here, so looks like very good unworn, nearly not used condition. Same here with these mating surfaces, super flat. Cool is here that this has been done on a planer. Looks cool with all the straight lines. You don't see that anymore today. It will be all milled. Just some marks from the oil ring grooves here, but nothing that you can feel with your finger. So it looks like just a little bit cleaning the oil grooves and then putting it back together, and that's good. I will be taking care of the bearing that sits here. You can see that from the other side, because that is somewhat with old grease, and I will probably renew just the greasing, because with this low RPM you really don't need anything fancy there, and I would guess that there is not much of has not seen many revolutions actually, the bearing, if we're looking here at the surfaces. Okay, that was actually worth the effort, because all these oil grooves here were stuck, and there's also an oil groove in this thing, and I don't know how they put it in, but maybe they drilled it and then they just closed the holes and then they put the bushings in. That might have been the case. And it's good to have that free, because these things are the moving parts that carry the load, and they should be oiled well. And that's been done through the oiler here in front. There's also an oil groove here that was also blocked with grease, is now free again. And I will clean this here a little bit, give it some oil. We'll use the heavy whey oil that is, yeah, just like this honey-like texture. That is the whey oil that I will be using here for the whole slotting head. Okay, here comes the fun part. We have to find the counter bore that this shaft goes in, and it will obviously not stay in the middle, but I think I have a chance to get in from the side here with a screwdriver and just knock it somehow in the position it needs to be, while at the same time pushing up the ram and trying to push in this this thing here. It's all well oiled, and we will see how that goes. Maybe it's simpler than with the decal, as Stefan showed. He did it also off camera, and that is usually a sign that he took more attention to assembly than to filming. Okay, so what I did is I aligned the ram with the eye by eye. Then I adjusted it, I held it with a screwdriver through here, and then I mounted this thing, removed the oiler, and then I tapped it very gently into place, hoping now when I move the knee up and down a little bit that I can wiggle it in all the way. This worked. I moved the mill by hand a little bit up and down while pressing on it, and then with the motion friction was reduced, and then it was sliding right in. So no force, but very gentle movements, and now it is back in place again. It was a matter of, I would say, 10 minutes. That's fine. Gip is not too tight at the moment. We will do this later. So I was now tightening the gip according to the method of Stefan Gotteswinter. Put a dial indicator here at the side, and as you can see, it's now, oh come on, focus. It's now at 29, and if I push back here, it goes to 30. If I do it from the other side, it goes back to 29. That seems a pretty good setting here. And now I will fix the slot screw here with a screwdriver and tighten the nut, not turning the screw, hopefully holding the adjustment in the way it is now. That worked pretty well. Still 1/100th of a millimeter play, which is hopefully fine. And all that remains now is to clean the bearing that's inside there, to tram it in and to make a mark here. There never was one, actually. So it's virgin alignment, obviously, here. And then, well, it's about some tooling, right? I mean, I don't know. I just ordered some plain HSS steel, and I will see what I make of it. There will be some keyway slotting actions on my project list, and yeah, let's see how I put together some tooling here, but let's do it one step at a time. This thing is now cleaned. This thing is now oiled. All the oil ways are free. play in with the grip is adjusted fine. What I will need to do, because it's really heavy lifting, I will have to build something to rest it on here, the same as with the vertical head. Some mount that maybe even sits here on top of this thing, so that I can better and easier pull it off, put it on, because it's really a heavy piece of equipment. But it's working, and I had the chance to get my hands on one of these rare things. You see not a lot about this on YouTube. This is why I did this video, just for the few guys out there who have also the luck to get their hands on a slotting head for the Steinel